is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
And good evening, everyone. And we're coming to you live from the Midwest City practice field, where we have another Midwest City Coaches Show for you. We're back to being live again. It's been 3 weeks, but we're excited to be here. The Midwest City Coaches Show, of course, is brought to you by Tooney Buys Houses. We buy and renovate homes. We also lease and own or finance homes throughout the state of Oklahoma. Call them at 405-931-3046. And Intertwined Hearts Ministry, biblical-based counseling, mentoring, and spiritual direction for couples and adult individuals. Scott and Alicia Young both graduated from Midwest City, and their kids graduated from Midwest City as well. They're located at 9107 East Reno Avenue. And, of course, both sponsors are brought to you by Midwest City graduates. Channing Chamberlain, of course, at Tooney Buys Houses. All right, let's go ahead and get on with it as we get to talk to Midwest City head coach Jaquez Washington. Okay, so, Coach, it's kind of strange. We're looking back at a game that was like 12 days ago, but I think we can remember a lot of what happened there. So one of the first things of the stuff I wrote down from the game, the emergence of Davion Cochran, because that touchdown he had, I think it was the first touchdown on his first touch, was really impressive, the way he reversed fields like that and got you guys started. And it really excites me that he's a sophomore doing what he's doing. Talk about what you've seen from him this year, how he's gotten from point A to where he is now.
Just like a lot of these young players, this experience of just playing snaps in game, and then just having the capability to just try to put it together. When you have like a front-loaded season like we had, and some of the competition that he was seeing earlier in the season, now you're starting to see some of that stuff pay off with just how he's running his routes, catching it with his hands. We had the case of the drops early in the season. Now he's catching the ball well. And, when you're young and you catch the ball, you're like, all right, I caught the ball. And then sometimes you just say, that's the end of the play, and I get down. Now you're starting to see him, play with the ball after the catch, starting to make people miss and wanting to score. Once you get a taste of it, it's something that you want to do week in and week out. So that's the case with a lot of the young guys on the team. It's just like they're getting the experience now. And, now it's 10 games under their belt, so you're starting to see them develop as football players.
And you could say the similar things about Josiah Brown, who's more of a possession receiver, but he caught a jump ball touchdown. That I think that's the type of thing I'm sure you think he can do a lot of in the future.
Yes, sir. And that's like I said, some of those guys, especially with that group, Lucius, Sweet Lou, starting to put the games together and have good games week in and week out. And that's a guy who's played, 8 games at receiver also, and he blocks his butt off every play. So, that group is really developing at an accelerated rate, and now they walk around here like they're the most confident unit on the team, and that's a great thing.
Okay, and then after that first touchdown, one of the things that had plagued you is you lost some onside kicks in the favor. And you tried an onside kick where basically your players were coming out of a huddle instead of lining up with the L's and the R's, whatever you call them, as when they line up for kickoff. What went into the decision and to do that and preparation too for that play?
We try to get an advantage in everything in the special teams. I think that was a player-led mission there on that onside kick call versus Klassen. I think that was something that old Dunn cooked up inside that huddle. So we probably just don't need them to huddle no more.
All right, now you're aware of it. Other teams are aware of it too, but maybe you'll have something else in store for your next opponent. I wondered if that was in part because you wanted to try to get a couple scores in before maybe the rain delay took place. Did that enter the thought process at all?
I mean, it ended up working out that way, but if I was thinking like that, I probably would have went for 2 early on to go ahead and get the 15 points.
Yeah.
And that way, after 45 minutes, we could have just, said, all right, let's get up out of here. But we needed 2 points. We're glad we went out there and stuck it out. It was a hectic hour and 35 minutes, but we got through it.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. The lightning delay, I think for a while after they delayed the game, it seemed like, there wasn't anything wrong. You knew something was coming, and, of course, it did. But did you feel like they called the game or delayed the game too early?
I don't know. All of them got their little gadgets and gizmos, and Oklahoma City Public Schools abide by a different set of rules that Middale does. So like I don't know. I just thinking back at it, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. They should have had some team bonding in the locker room. They spent 2 hours together sitting in there, so it all worked out.
Okay, and did anyone outside the team, of course, suggest possibly calling the game? Or was it always the plan, as far as from the game officials, to resume the game after the storm went through?
We tried to figure out ways to call the games, but I knew how important those 2 more points were to our district play. Obviously the team on the other side, they didn't have any skin in the game, so it's really up to us whether we played or not. And at the same time, even if we had the 15 points, looking back at it at the time, I don't think our defense had even taken the field in that game yet. We were just lining up to play our first defensive snap, and then the game got delayed. So it was like, you worked, these 3 days, 4 days of work, and then you drive out here, you warm up to play, plays, and then it would have been unfair to the kids also.
And you did say it was a bonding experience. What were you guys?
Call it that.
I thought you called it that. What was going on?
Man, they were just sitting there talking. 14 to 18-year-old young men just sitting there talking. I think Lincoln was eating 6 hot dogs and just all types of stuff going on. By the way, I think they had some all beef dogs over there at Classen Stadium. They did look good.
Yeah. Well. You know what? I enjoy calling the game there at Douglas High School. I'm glad they're only like 20 minutes away. Did you feel like? Were you? And I'm sure you were okay with the way they shortened the game once things got started. The running clock, the short halftime, but also the short quarters. Were you a little disappointed that? That you couldn't get more players in and getting more players in situations where they could, gain some confidence and gain a rhythm?
Yeah, I understand, like, the reason they shortened the game, and, those types of games, you have that circled on your schedule to, you think like you're going to get a bunch of kids experience who don't typically play in a game. And so that's what part sucked, but I also understood that, like, we have been sitting in there for an hour and 45 minutes, and, like, we need our 15 points. And we just need to get up out of here because we're in school the next day. So, like,
yeah,
I understand both sides of it. So it is unfortunate how it worked out. But, with our kids, with our team, our current roster and personnel right now, I think our kids have taken a lot of snaps, whether you look at it as a varsity side of the ball, and then, with playing a lot of underclassmen this year, our JV and freshman team has combined, and they've gotten a lot of snaps on Mondays too. So it's all good. And
any of the players that played well that game, as short as it was, that need some recognition? Defensive, I think Fenric Wren has been coming along. He's had put together like 3 or 4 solid, good back-to-back games as far as linebacker play. If we can get 6, to continue his climb of just like assignment football and understanding what he's doing, I think he's finally getting polished out of being out of the game for a year. Jacory's still coming along and just, taking care of his assignment and getting him to understand, his frustration. Sometimes he decides that he wants to go make it somebody else's play, and just getting him locked into doing his assignment and the plays that come. But, all in all, I am proud. I'm focused on the cornerback's development and just, making sure the ball doesn't go over our head, because I think that's how we've ended a lot of drives, is allowing X plays. And so that's really the focus, over the last 2 weeks of is just locking that secondary up a little bit, tightening it down. Of course, by number 6, you're talking about Tavion Thies McGuire. and Fenric Grin and Ja'Cory Fletcher, they're all seniors. And we have senior night being the final home game of the season, besides being the final regular season game. So, I mean, you've only had a chance to be with the senior class for 1 year, and I know it's an adjustment for them, just like it is for you. And you know, it goes by quickly with them. But what can you say about this group of seniors?
I will say, you know, they have no quit in them because, I mean, a lot of things that happened this season. First of all, Coach Hall, you know, stepping down and resigning. They could have had opportunities to go somewhere else. They had no clue who was coming in. Just the way their senior season has went, you know, getting adjusted to 2 different schemes, getting adjusted to different coaching personnel, different men in their life, you know, trying to get them to maybe change their behavior or encourage their behavior that they want to see, and just trying to adapt. So they're adaptable. They don't have quit in them. And, you know, overall, they're a good group of kids.
All right. Well, I'm going to show the district standings here. And what we have is a potential for a 3-way tie. Southeast is playing Newcastle, and we do believe it's not given at all that Newcastle can win that game by 50. Newcastle, by the way, is also possibly going to be in a 3-way tie, so they have incentive to win by the full 15-plus points. And then that could give you an opportunity to come in and beat Duncan and have a 3-way tiebreaker. So a lot at stake as far as your upcoming game against the Duncan Demons. And I believe, if my math is correct, if Southeast does lose by 15, maybe I think at least 11, but definitely 15 or more, and if you can win against Duncan by 13, I think that's the minimum number, you are in the playoffs. Am I correct? Does that sound right?
Well, Southeast minus 19.
Southeast minus, yeah.
So they need 9. If 9, it'll all equal 28 if we win by 13. And so, like, if Southeast ends up losing by 10 points, you know, then they're going to be pushed out.
Okay.
Overall, we can't worry about that. We got 2 touchdowns to cover.
Yeah.
That's what we got to go cover.
We'll just say to catch Duncan.
Yes, to
13
catch Duncan.
points.
So we need 2 touchdown win. It's going to be an interesting game. They also understand that. They're also fighting for their playoff life. And so, you know, see how, you know, we kind of do this chess match in this limbo. You know, we want to come out aggressive and be aggressive, and, you know, I don't know what their plan is going to be, whether to, you know, how they're going to go about it, you know, with them being in the driver's seat right now.
It would be interesting if you're up by 8 late in the game, and normally you'd be like, okay, let's run the ball or take a knee, and instead you're like, no, we gotta treat the game a little differently than what the scoreboard says. But that's just the rules.
Yeah, I mean, it's great though. I mean, it's a good challenge for us. It's giving us something to strive for. We put ourselves in this situation, and so we need to go dig ourselves out of it. And
Duncan's a senior-led team, and their quarterback has been playing quarterback for 2 or 3 years, at least 2 of them, I think 3, and he's a good athlete, and they got some good athletes at running back and receiver. But what have you noticed about Duncan that makes them a formidable team this year?
They do some good stuff. They started out early in the season with a 3-down front and have switched to a 4-down and even mix in some of the 3-high stuff. You know, the quarterback also plays corner, so he moves around the field a little bit on defense, and their running back does a heck of a job, you know, complimenting the quarterback, you know, making sure that you stay true to him in the run game. And so really it's just going to be us about, you know, slowing that run game down, slowing that engine down, and then putting drives together to you know, keep him on the field out there at corner, and, you know, kind of wear and tear on them. But, you know, they're a good group. They do a lot of beautiful things formation-wise, offensively, to, you know, kind of put some stressors on your kids, you know, and make you play the quarterback in space. And so really it's just going to be a game of, you know, just being able to you know, complement and game plan and have an understanding of what we're seeing, what they're doing on both sides of the ball. But, you know, I'm confident what we've been doing offensively that we can create and generate some points. So.
Another thing that's interesting about this is, and I guess I should mention this, we're coming off a bye week, and, you know, you had a chance if you wanted to go watch Duncan play in person, but it's Halloween, you know, you wanted to trick or treat. I asked another coach the same question, and they're like, I don't know how much we'll get from them playing class and SAS. So I'm curious, because you've been doing this for so long as a college coach or an assistant coach in the high school level, is there value in going to see your opponent live versus the video, or is there really not much else you're going to get from that?
Yeah, there is value, and I know a lot more people did in the older days because, the film trading process, something that you might not be able to get a hold of until 3 or 4 days. You got to go meet somebody and, at a midpoint and trade tape and stuff, but with Huddle, you get it instantly. Once they post it on the Huddle, we trade film directly digitally, but then also just seeing them on the hoof, seeing them on the field, seeing what what their guys look like on the field. There is value how they move. What the tempo is, because some of the stuff you don't get from Huddle. As far as like how fast they move the ball, how fast they line up, things like that.
Yeah, and you can maybe see more things from the sideline too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, and then it's kind of unusual having a bye week this late in the season. How did you take advantage of that?
We went out and worked 3 days last week. We've been able to do some more things, as far as film and preparation. Obviously, when you have a bye week this late in the season, would you love to have it with our schedule this year early in the season? Yeah, you would have loved to have it, maybe before entering district play or, at a midpoint in one of those games earlier so we can kind of reset and reassess everything. But, anytime you have a bye week, you're able to kind of just like ensure some stuff, add in more stuff, on both sides of the ball. So, it's obviously good timing for us this year based on the situation we're in.
All right, and of course, hopefully your team's the players are feeling good from, not having a game as far as physically goes. But here we go, Duncan in Midwest City. It's senior night. We'll start the coverage early to make sure on the broadcast you can see the Midwest City senior football players and managers honored as they're going to have their final regular season final home game of their career. And then, of course, at 7 o'clock, the Bombers and the Deacons will be playing for the 4th straight year. And just like last year, there was a playoff spot in the line. There will be this year. Bombers need to do more than just win, though. But, this is a good time to see if they can, and when we believe they can. So, all right. Well, Coach, thank you very much. And we're not done yet. We're going to talk to some Bomber seniors here in a bit. You're watching the Midwest City Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the Works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call. This is why you need our number in your phone.
This could be you!
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
All right, welcome back to the Midwest City Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network, of course, brought to you by Toonie Buys Houses and Intertwined Hearts Ministries. We're going to move the Intertwined Hearts Ministries logo a bit here as it's cutting off Lincoln King's precious head. So that's a little better. We'll have to keep playing with that. Actually, we got the wrong side there. Anyway, but that's who we have joining us, and we're very fortunate to be joined by some seniors from Midwest City. We got to my left, Lincoln King, Ja'Cory Fletcher, and then remind us of who you are.
Tavion McGarthy.
Okay. See, I hadn't seen you yet because you're a little bit more new. What was your first game? Southeast. Okay, so there, case in point, you missed the first 4 games, but you started to make your presence felt. And, we were talking about you on the coach's show, Tavion, and Coach Washington mentioned that you're a track star. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What are your events in track?
110 hurdles, 300 hurdles, 4x1, and 4x2.
Okay, you got the full 4 events. And how did last year go for you as a track on the track field?
I got first in 110 hurdles, 14.3, and then first in 300 hurdles, 39.1.
And this is in the final meet state tournament of the state?
Yes, sir. And then 4x1, we got 4th.
Okay. Well, 4th is pretty good at that class. So do you have plans to run track in college?
Yes, sir.
Do you know yet where you're going to go?
Not yet.
I always wonder if when you're that good in track, what's keeping you from playing football? But because you weren't playing last year, did you just take a year off?
Yeah.
And what made you decide to do that?
I really wanted to focus on track to get things right where I wanted to be, and I'm at where I'm at.
Okay, and then what made you decide to play football your senior year?
Really, everybody was just telling me to come back out and try it again, and I was like, all right, and it's my last year.
Okay, well, we'll come back to you in a bit. Now, to my left is the lefty quarterback, Lincoln King. Lincoln, this season's been interesting. I think you started out at quarterback, and then you started receiver, I think, on offense, and then played more quarterback in the latter part of non-district. And then Valor Vaughn got hurt, and as you were moving back to receiver, and then the last few games you played quarterback, but you looked so really good. I mean, think about Lawton MacArthur or your game against Classen SAS, and it seems like you've gotten better and better as a passer. How do you feel about your throwing game and how that's gone?
Well, I just feel like we're just trying to feel like it's like a puzzle, and we're trying to put the missing pieces there, and it's a whole young team, and I just feel like we just need more reps, And so me playing quarterback, it just took a little time for our young receiver to adjust to my throws and stuff like that. But now we're going to click.
Well, then let's look at the chemistry you're getting with the 2 Browns and Davion Cochran. The Browns being Josiah Brown and then Lucius, they call him Sweet Lou apparently. What's that been like, seeing that progress, and how comfortable do you feel with those 3?
With our new coach, Curry, he's not really new. He came back. I don't know what happened, but I feel like he's just a really good coach, and it changed the game for us. Definitely on a route level and on a passing level.
And do any of those 3, because they're all younger than you, because they're like junior and 2 sophomores, do they ever get on to you and tell you they're open?
They have, but they understand. There's certain things you gotta deal with.
Okay, so when you see Josiah one-on-one, he's 6'4". Are you thinking, hey, this is a jump ball opportunity? Because that's how he's got one of your touchdowns 2 weeks ago.
I mean, it depends. If he's pressed up, yeah, we definitely gonna throw it. But I mean, there's certain people you got to look for. That's okay.
And I've seen Davion look really good after the catch, run the ball. What have you noticed with him?
He's definitely one of our strong receivers. He's one of my go-to guys. I can't lie about that.
Okay, Ja'Cory, one of the most important things you had to do for this team. Coach refers to you as number 8, but you've also worn a couple other numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was 56 one of them?
56.
And then
25, 71.
Okay, I remember 71. What's that like, changing uniform? Because sometimes you have to do it during the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you had to come out once because I mean, because that's a lot to keep track of, right?
Yes, sir.
You had to come out at once in the game because you couldn't play offensive line in your current number. Was that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that, but have you had to do that recently?
No, we just been trusting our guys, and they've been doing a way better job than what they were. So yeah, we just trusting them.
Was that frustrating to change numbers and kind of go back and forth?
Like afterwards, yeah, but like during the game, nah, it's just doing whatever you can to win. So.
Okay, and how talk about the comfort level you feel as a defensive end now, especially since sometimes they'll have a 3-man front or a 4-man front. Well, I'll start with that. Then, do you have a preference?
Not really, because like when we go to 3, I usually scoot back or go that like outside linebacker. So like, but I prefer defense end. Like for the most part, like I just feel more comfortable there. So.
Yeah, because you're a defensive end, you just go.
Yes, sir.
And linebackers, so sometimes they got to drop back in coverage.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? Okay, as a tight end, didn't you have like a couple of 2-point catches or something like that?
Yeah, 2-point conversion to touchdown.
Yeah, so are you feeling like, hey, you should get on more and more on this throwing game with Lincoln that's gotten expanded?
I mean, yeah, for the most part, but we mainly leave it up to him and who he want to throw to. So.
Okay, Lincoln, what about that? Is Jacory as a tight end, does he get open enough?
He does, actually. He's pretty agile. Can't lie.
Okay. And then Tavion, I think you've mostly been playing defense.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a preference? You played some on offense, I assume?
Yeah, I did. Southeast.
Okay, but which position you rather play?
Defense.
And you're a cornerback, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and one of the more memorable plays is, I mean, you guys are having a tough game against Lawton MacArthur on the defensive end, but you came from behind, and you're like a famous NFL player that was doing that stuff, Darryl Green. I don't know if you ever heard of his name, but you should look him up if you haven't. And you came and you caught a pretty fast Lawton MacArthur player from behind. It looked like from about the 40 on he was about to score, and you got him about the 20. And you just didn't care about the score. You're just going to play hard no matter what. What do you remember about that play? And I assume I bet the coaches appreciated that too, right?
Pretty much. I just seen them breaking out, going fast, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is my opportunity to go get them. I just went to go get them.
Yeah, because you don't care about the score. You have a chance to show off your speed.
Yes, sir.
But I think Coach Washington said that was one of the plays that they showed after the game to the players. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you get a lot of pats on the head from your teammates or something?
Yeah.
But that had to be good to see, and that makes you just want to, get on the screen again, right?
Yes, I would love it.
Okay, so Lincoln, now that you're playing, they're depending on you more and more at quarterback as you're getting comfortable out there. Are you still doing other stuff? Are you still rotating in at safety? And I think Dominique has taken over some kicking stuff, if that sounds right. So what have you been doing besides quarterback?
Fortunately, I haven't been able to come back to punter yet, but I definitely am playing both sides of the ball. So actually, I like that more, honestly, because I feel like I can impact both sides of the ball.
So you do rotate in at safety? Some.
I'm not going to say too much on this interview, but just know I'm going to be out there.
All right. Well, just look out for number 2. Well, Duncan, I don't know if you're familiar with their quarterback, but I was told he plays cornerback on defense, and he also returns kicks, which seems crazy, but then again, you do it, right? And were you ever like, wait a minute, I'm playing quarterback, I can't return kicks? Or I'm assuming that's not what you thought? But
no, I always ask to do everything. That's just how I am.
Yeah. Have you had a favorite, because you've gotten some touchdown passes since you were firmly put back into quarterback. You had a long touchdown run against Lawton Mac. Do you have a favorite play?
I probably have to say the pass when I threw it to Dede for a touchdown across the field.
Against
Lawton Mac.
Okay. I like the one against McGinnis because McGinnis is good. Not too many teams score on him. So
they are a strong team. I can't lie. That was a pretty strong team to play.
Yeah. Jacory, what has it been tough to stay positive when you guys had your losses to those big teams, MacArthur, McGinnis, and Newcastle. I mean, you knew those teams would be good. Was it hard to stay positive after those games?
Not for me at least, but like as Coach Voss said, we got like 14 through 18-year-olds, so it's like they gonna have not to rag, but a childish mindset when it comes to losing and winning games. So it's just about keeping my teammates up and keeping their head high.
All right, and Tavion, how has practice been for you? Because you come back to football. I guess you played when you were younger.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're back in practice, and you're seeing maybe you're going head to head against some of these receivers I've been talking about with Lincoln. Has it been real competitive? What's practice been like?
Oh yeah, it's been real competitive. I talk noise, they talk noise back, and we just keep going heads up to get them better.
Who's the toughest receiver to cover in practice?
Link.
Oh, okay, Link. I don't know how much we'll see them at receiver, but
yeah, but really, Day.
It's really fun. That's really have fun. Playing against Tavion.
Yeah, okay. And this being, Duncan, I believe that you still have a chance to make the playoffs, but you got to beat them pretty good. You can't just win by a point. You got to win by, I think the total's 13. And I'm assuming Coach has talked to you guys about that?
He has. We've been game planning, but I'm saying it's going to be a tough game, especially to win by two touchdowns. So.
How do you feel about that? Do you feel pressure with that, Jacory, that in a way you're down 13-0 right away?
It's more like a challenge for the team, like we're just kind of think of it as like going past the standard. Winning the game is of course a standard, but you got to go past it to get what you want out of it, because a lot of teams drop their head with our record, but we're not done yet. So.
Well, was it nice to have the bye week? Did you guys feel a little more refreshed now? Lincoln, I'll start with you.
Definitely have us. I feel like in that practice, the whole week was pretty. The energy was there. I love that practice week. It definitely gave us a little reset, but we had our mind on Duncan the whole time. Every day, got straight to it.
Okay, Jacory, what about you? How do you? I mean, because you play two physical positions, defensive end and tight end. So I imagine you've had some bumps and bruises. Do you feel more recovered now maybe than you had before the bye week?
Yeah, as much as I wanted to play a game on Friday, I do feel more refreshed. I definitely do feel better at practice. So,
Tavion, what about you?
I feel great. Got our mindset back. Receivers got their confidence. DB's ready to go.
So you did have Friday night off. That's Halloween. Did you guys go trick-or-treating?
Nah, I was in the bed watching Carlisle versus Guthrie.
Was that a fun game?
Absolutely.
That'd be a fun game, yeah.
Absolutely.
That was a crazy game.
Absolutely.
I can't believe Carlisle gave up 42 points, but every year is a little different with teams.
Hey.
Lincoln, what about you? What was Friday night like?
I was just at the house, watched a little bit of film in there. That's about it.
Tavion, how about you?
I went to call every game, watched it.
Oh, you went to the game?
Yeah, I thought they was going to lose, but came out on top.
They almost did. Their win streak's still intact, which I don't remember the number, but it's over 40. Anyway, I mean, things go right. They could be a first-round opponent for you guys. But it's senior night, though. So what are your thoughts about this being the last time you'll be taking the field here at Rose Field? Lincoln, what do you think?
Oh, it's tough. It's really tough. I just feel like yesterday he was a freshman.
Yeah.
But,
yesterday being 3 years ago, but still, it doesn't change the fact that it was. Were you suiting up by the end of the freshman year?
I was, but.
What was it like watching DJ?
That was crazy. I can't lie. He was a dude back then.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got to see that up close then. And, I mean, I think you have very similar athletic attributes to him. So, and I think when he got up to college, he moved to receiver. I don't know how he's doing now at UNLV or something, but I could see how he could do it because he's that type of athlete. Jacory, what do you think, being senior night?
Man, it ain't clicked yet. Like, I still feel like I got to, like, even – it feels weird no matter the outcome of this game, we just not going to ever play a home game here. So it's just like, besides practice, we just never going to suit up to play here, be at Rose Field. So kind of hurt a little bit, but hopefully it ends good in that long run.
Tavion, what do you think? I mean, you just came back to football, and now it's senior night. You're going to be recognized. Does that feel weird?
Most definitely. Didn't play last year, coming back, and it's been my senior year. Just got to keep working, keep the team pushing. That whole game, keep the confidence up.
All right, we definitely hope and believe that you can pull it out. It's going to be tough to beat Duncan by 1 point, let alone 13, but I think you guys can do it. Well, Lincoln, if whenever it does end, what's next? Baseball, I assume?
Yes, sir.
I don't know, you're trying not to think about it yet, but are you excited about when it does come, baseball season?
Mm-hmm. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming, new coaches. I feel strong about our baseball team this year.
Okay. Ja'Cory, you playing another sport?
Yeah, I'm just go track.
What are you going to do for track?
Throw.
Okay, so shot put and discus?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you do that last year?
Nope. It's new for me too. So.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're trying that. You never know. You might be good at it. Those are a shot put. I don't know how it gets past 5 feet. It's so heavy. Sometimes the times that I picked one up, but that's me, of course. Tavion, obviously, you're heading on to track. I believe you're going to play. Okay, I was about to ask. I should have asked. You got a winter sport ahead of you, wrestling. Did you wrestle last year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Does it help you any when it comes to like being physical in the football field, tackling? Does wrestling help you out?
Yes, sir, and it helped me like with mental, because you got to be a strong guy, have a good mental to do that sport.
And you got to be conditioned.
Yes, sir.
And so you, would you say you had a pretty good wrestling season last year?
I wasn't really just there. I just go there to get my mental right, shape, and come back to track.
Okay. And have you got a chance to talk to the new wrestling coach at Midwest City High School?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll be interested to see how he does things. I think he's an experienced guy, so we'll see what that leads to. Okay, what last question for you guys? What do you think about what you could plan on doing in college? Lincoln, have you thought about that? Do you want to do both sports, baseball, football, and college?
Yes, I would love to do both sports.
I think Alon Woodbury a few years ago.
But if it came down to it, I could choose one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Definitely could.
Ja'Cory, any thoughts about college?
Going to play football in college, so that's the plan.
Another thing is you got to kind of wait until things settle from the transfer portal and stuff like that. But have you been at least talking to anybody?
Here and there. They posting film, talking. It's a process.
Okay, and Tavion, you've talked to people about track?
Yes, sir.
I mean, if you win state titles, I assume you can do track at the college level somewhere. Okay, well, these three are going to be recognized. We got 2, 6, and 8. So they'll be, I think, recognized pretty quickly on senior night at Midwest City High School because they go by jersey numbers. So they'll be recognized early on. And it'll be a long pregame because of that, but we look forward to doing that. And, of course, we'll bring you the Bombers and the Demons. Midwest City still has a chance to make the playoffs, so that there may be another week for them. After this, of course, they need a little bit of help. Newcastle to beat Southeast by about 11 or more. As you saw, the lights went off, but that's okay. We're about to wrap things up. And Midwest City needs to win by 13, but we're hoping that it will be done. And if it is, either way, we'll have a coaches show coming up next week, if it's a wrap-up of the season or looking ahead to their first-round playoff matchup. We'll be back here talking Midwest City Bomber football on the Midwest City Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.